I do enjoy these Carnberry videos, the ones where he bashes all us bookies. And I want to respond to his latest one, and this in order that some of you think that we've been thick as thieves lately. I'm no partner of Khan, and he's no partner of me, but we do certainly sing off the same page when it comes to affordability. But his latest video is a bit cheeky. He's talking about, and you excuse the background noise, by the way. He's talking about bookies' margins and why punters can't get a bet and all this kind of stuff. One of the cheeky points he makes in a coin toss, that bookies like me, the evil scumbag bookies, would be betting to 1.8, 4 to 5 each of two. I have to tell you, I haven't bet to 4 to 5 each of two since 1980. Now, these days, it's typical to bet to what one would describe as 1.91, which is basically 2% per runner, rather than the 5% per runner in Khan's entertaining example. But I appreciate he's trying to make a point there. But the main thing to point out is when his video talks about basically the point being that accounts get closed with bookies and everything else like that. And yeah, the accounts do get closed. And as far as in my own defense, I would say that my firm take a great deal of time hand managing almost many accounts that we have before we would consider any restrictions on them. But that's not to say it doesn't happen. Of course, it has to happen in today's world. And why does it happen in today's world? Very simply because betting exchanges arrived many years ago, and that simply changed the landscape of betting. I mean, Khan's examples, if you watch his entertaining video, discuss things like arbitrage. And in this regard, this is an age-old discussion between him and I that some of you will have enjoyed on Twitter over the years. I do not view people who are engaged in the business of arbitrage as punters. A punter, for me, is somebody who simply enjoys a bet, has a bet regularly. He may well specialize in a sport. He may well be a tipster. He may well be informed. He may well win because of those factors. But at the end of the day, a punter is placing his £50 down for argument's sake, and he can win or he can lose. But an arbitrage player is not looking for that. He's looking to put his £50 down and get back £55 on every trade he makes. This is basic arbitrage, and there are multiple ways of doing it. So my difference with my good friend Khan on this matter is that an arbitrage player cannot view himself in the same way as a regular punter. And I do agree with many of Khan's points when we talk about how poorly modern day bookmakers are behaving with regard to regular punters and closing their accounts and restricting them unnecessarily and using these new so-called affordability measures to shut and restrict accounts down. We've seen it happen. It's happening every single day, and I think it's wrong for bookmakers to be doing that kind of thing. But arbitrage players, I'm afraid you have to stand on your own 2 feet. It is becoming, I understand, a lot more difficult for you to even remain in business because, of course, the bookmakers are steadily shutting down all the arbitrage players. But at the end of the day, you're not punters, lads. You're not punters. You are bookmakers by another word. You're bookmakers. You're performing exactly the same function as people like myself. And one important point to make, which it wasn't mentioned in Khan's video, which is very informative for people, but is not mentioned, is the fact that I, as a chairman of a betting company, am involved primarily in the business of risk. And if you looked at our books, say, for example, on the Champions League last night or something like that, you would see that we are top heavy for bets on teams like Chelsea and Man City and Liverpool and that kind of thing. And not all of them win all the time, I accept that. But we are not in the business of arbitrage or margin, because in the main, we rarely get what's called a balanced book. I'm always faced with huge liabilities, usually on one, maybe two selections in every football match or every horse race or something like that. And that is true of all betting companies. I'm not unique in that regard. And so with regard to margin is largely irrelevant. It is prices. It is the ability of the bookmaker to set the correct price on something that will or will not determine whether they are profitable over the course of a year. So that's just a little response there from your honest bookmaker. Like me or not, I'm not going to tell you any porky pies. And good luck to all you punters out there with with your bets in the future, and do keep watching those videos as I do. Very entertaining, but bear this one in mind as well. Enjoy.